We're going to be reading a story entitled A New Coat for Anna. It was written by Harriet Ziefert and illustrated by Anita Lobel. This is actually based on a true story, and there's a lot of information in it. We'll be using a strategy known as sequencing, and we will be looking for what's happening in the beginning and what comes next and what comes next and how the story unfolds to its conclusion. And this is what a good reader will do in order to find meaning in what they've read and to help them remember what they've read. A New Coat for Anna. Winter had come and Anna needed a new coat. The fuzzy blue coat that she had worn for so many winters was no longer fuzzy, and it was very small. Last winter, Anna's mother had said, "When the war is over, we will be able to buy things again, and I will get you a nice new coat." But when the war ended, the stores remained empty. There still were no coats. There was hardly any food, and no one had any money. Anna's mother wondered how she could get Anna a new coat. Then she had an idea. "Anna, I have no money," she said, "but I still have grandfather's gold watch and some other nice things. Maybe we can use them to get what we need for a new coat. First, we need wool. Tomorrow we will visit a farmer and see about getting some." So it looks like in the beginning of the story, we're noticing that the problem that they're facing is that there aren't any coats to be found. No one has any money. And so they're going to go and trade the grandfather's gold watch. The next day, Anna and her mother walked to a nearby farm. "Anna needs a new coat," Anna's mother told the farmer. "I have no money, but I will give you this fine gold watch if you will give me enough wool from your sheep to make a coat." The farmer said, "What a good idea! But you will have to wait until spring when I shear my sheep's winter wool. Then I can trade you their wool for your gold watch." So we're not going to be able to get the wool for a while. I can tell from the illustrations that right now it's winter time. Anna waited for spring to come. Almost every Sunday she and her mother visited the sheep. She would always ask them, "Is your wool growing?" The sheep would always answer, "Bah!" Then she would feed them nice fresh hay and give them hugs. At Christmas time, Anna brought them paper necklaces and apples and sang carols. So here's Anna. She's building a relationship with the sheep. Shows her giving them hay to eat and has made them green and red chain necklaces and feeding them apples. When spring came, the farmer sheared the sheep's wool. "Does it hurt them?" asked Anna. "No, Anna," said the farmer. "It's just like getting a haircut." When he had enough wool to make a coat, the farmer showed Anna how to card the wool. "It's like untangling the knots in your hair," he told Anna. Then he gave Anna's mother a big bag of wool, and Anna's mother gave him the gold watch. Anna and her mother took the bag of wool to an old woman who had a spinning wheel. "Anna needs a new coat," Anna's mother told the woman. "I have no money, but I'll give you this beautiful lamp if you will spin this wool into yarn." The woman said, "A lamp? That's just what I need, but I cannot spin quickly, for I am old and my fingers are stiff. Come back when the cherries are ripe, and I will have your yarn." When summer came, Anna and her mother returned. Anna's mother gave the old woman the lamp, and the old woman gave them the yarn and a basket of delicious red cherries. So in the beginning, Anna and her mother went to the farmer to get the wool, and then second they went to the old woman and traded a lamp so that she would spin it into yarn. "Anna, what color coat would you like?" Anna's mother asked. "A red one," Anna answered. "Then we will pick some lingonberries," said Anna's mother. "They make a beautiful red dye." At the end of summer, Anna's mother knew just the place in the woods to find the ripest lingonberries. So again, they had to wait. They had to wait for the wool until spring. They had to wait for the lady to finish the yarn until the beginning of summer, and they had to wait to the end of summer to be able to pick the berries. Anna and her mother boiled water in a big pot and put the berries into it. The water turned a deep red. Anna's mother dipped the pale yarn into it. Soon red yarn was hanging up to dry on clotheslines strung across the kitchen. When it dried, Anna and her mother wound the yarn into balls. They took the yarn to the weaver. "Anna needs a new coat," Anna's mother said. "I have no money, but I will give you this garnet necklace if you weave this yarn into cloth." The weaver said, "What a pretty necklace! I will be happy to weave your yarn. Come back in 2 weeks." When Anna and her mother returned, the weaver gave them a bolt of beautiful red cloth. Anna's mother gave the weaver the sparkling garnet necklace. So this time they only had to wait 2 weeks. So first, Anna and her mother had to trade the father's gold watch to get the wool from the sheep. And then after that, they had to go to a lady to use her spinning wheel to spin the wool into yarn. And then later they had to go and pick the berries and dye the cloth. And then after that, a woman came and they hired her to take the yarn, the red yarn, and weave it into material. The next day, Anna and her mother set off to see the tailor. "Winter is coming and Anna needs a new coat." Anna's mother told the tailor, "I have no money, but I will give you this porcelain teapot if you will make a coat with this cloth." The tailor said, "That's a pretty teapot. Anna, I'd be very happy to make you a new coat, but first I must take your measurements." He measured her shoulders. He measured her arms. He measured from the back of her neck to the back of her knees. Then he said, "Come back next week and I will have your coat." So 1 more week to go. The tailor set to work making a pattern, cutting the cloth, pinning and sewing and stitching and snipping. He worked and worked for almost a whole week. When he was finished, he found 6 pretty matching buttons in his button box and sewed them on the coat. He hung the coat proudly in the window for everyone to see. And here's the beautiful coat. And it has a little sign there. It says, "This coat is for Anna." When Anna and her mother returned to the tailor shop, Anna tried on her new coat. She twirled around in front of the window mirror. The coat was perfect. Anna thanked the tailor. Anna's mother thanked him too and gave him the pretty porcelain teapot. Anna wore her new coat home. She stopped at every store to look at her reflection in the window. When they got home, her mother said, "Christmas will soon be here, and I think this year we would have a little celebration." Anna said, "Oh, yes. And please, could we invite all the people who helped to make my coat?" "Yes," said Anna's mother, "and I will bake a Christmas cake just like I used to." Anna gave her mother a big hug. Looks like Anna's made some new friends. On Christmas Eve, the farmer, the spinner, the weaver, and the tailor came to Anna's house. They all thought Anna looked beautiful in her new coat. The Christmas cake that Anna's mother baked was delicious. Everyone agreed that this was the best Christmas they had had in a long time. So they have all of the people that were there to make the coat. They had the farmer, and I believe this is the farmer, and they had the spinner, and they had the weaver, and the tailor. And they were all in that order, and they all came to the house to celebrate the new coat. On Christmas Day, Anna visited the sheep. "Thank you for the wool, sheep," she said. "Do you like my pretty new coat?" The sheep seemed to smile as they answered, "Baa, baa." And there's Anna encircled with all her new sheep friends. A good reader, when they finish a book, will go back and retell the story in their own words. And this is how they can remember the story, and then how they can find meaning in the story. And we'll do that by sequencing. What happened first? What happened next? What happened next as the story unfolded? So the first thing that happened in the book was that Anna and her mother were alone after the war, and Anna needed a new coat, and they didn't have any money. So she traded different objects in their house that had value, and traded for services, and went about problem solving how to go about getting her a coat made. So in the beginning, she traded with the farmer, and he supplied the wool. Next, she traded with the woman who did the weaving, who spun the wool for them into yarn. And then what happened next was the mother and Anna, they got together and picked the berries to make red dye so they could dye the yarn red. Then they took the red yarn and they traded with the woman to weave the yarn into material. And in the end, they traded with the tailor so that he would actually cut the material, measure and cut it, and make the coat for Anna. And at the very end, what was so lovely is they all came together and they realized that not only did she have a new coat, but she had a lot of new friends as well.